All right, what do you got in the news department?
Well, speaking of mayor, I know that we were talking about New York earlier, and AOC, of course, endorsed the super duper, what's he calling himself? Democratic Socialist, Mamdani.
Yeah.
But also, I guess a yearbook photo of her came out because, she's this girl from the Bronx.
Yeah.
She's just AOC from the Bronx, like J-Lo. Mm-hmm. So she finally broke her silence on the yearbook photo, but still clung to the Bronx girl claims. And the reason why she had to address it is because it was from a suburban high school in Westchester County, which, for those who are aware of the New York area or the tri-state area up there, Westchester County ain't the Bronx.
No.
She said she was proud of how she grew up and talk about it all the time. My mom cleaned houses and I helped, and we cleaned tutors' homes in exchange for SAT prep. Growing up, now she's changed it too, between the Bronx and Yorktown, deeply shaped my views of inequality, and it's a big reason I believe the things I do today. And we actually have some audio of her talking about this Bronx thing.
Remember, everyone, 10 minutes ago, remember Kamala Harris from Oakland? Right? Except for she went to prep school in Canada and where she worked at McDonald's. It's unclear whether she worked at the Canadian McDonald's or the Oakland McDonald's, but why are you creating something?
Just don't create a false narrative. Stick to your story.
What let's really just take a deeper dive. All right, let's play the clip of Jenny from the block over here.
We should put that music under it too.
To run for office.
Let's just start from the beginning. We never know. We always forget the audio part.
Women like me aren't supposed to run for office. I wasn't born to a wealthy or powerful family. Mother from Puerto Rico, dad from the South Bronx. I was born in a place where your zip code determines your destiny. My name is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. I'm an educator, an organizer, a working-class New Yorker. I've worked with expectant mothers, I've waited tables and led classrooms. And going into politics wasn't in the plan. But after 20 years...
Can I call bullshit on that? Politics was always part of her plan.
She didn't include the part where if you elect me, I promise I'll go to the Met Ball.
But it went to charity, Adam. It's totally fine when it goes to charity.
All right, we can keep playing it. I guess there's more, right?
Has New York been changing for? Every day gets harder for working families like mine to get by. The rent gets higher, healthcare covers less, and our income stays the same. It's clear that these changes haven't been for us, and we deserve a champion. It's time to fight for a New York that working families can afford. That's why I'm running for Congress. This race is about people versus money. We've got people, they've got money. It's time we acknowledge that not all...
Listen, here's what I'm saying. First off, who the fuck cares where you're from?
But this is a part of the narrative.
No one cares.
Actually, I know you say no one cares, but the right does this too, right?
Yeah,
when it comes to Herschel Walker or there's even other people, like Republican women who run for office do this too. I think that humanity does care about where are you from? What's your story? Are you the underdog?
Oh, I'm not saying no. People, no
or
one...
but when it's on the left, it's what's your ethnicity and are you poor like me? And she's trying to portray it as this.
No, everybody does. Look, you're there when you run for something. You're there to brag, essentially. About
she called herself a champion. We need a champion. You're insinuating that you're a champion. How narcissistic is that?
You're there to talk about. You could be starting a business or raising a family or being a firefighter or something. No one goes, I beat off on a futon a lot. And now I want to make decisions that are going to affect your life. You know what I mean? It's always whatever, married for 25 years, 3 beautiful children. Yeah. I mean, you brag. Okay. Yeah. And people don't like to go, my dad was super rich and he was the governor, so he kind of got me the job afterward. You do this thing and I do it. Everyone does it. I go, well, I'm rich, but I didn't have anything growing up. I didn't have a hoop or an Akita.
That's okay.
And that's fine. It's fine. But it's not like I'm from North Hollywood. It's more like, here's how I grew up. I played sports. I had this kind of family. I learned to work hard. I work construction. But I don't always go North Hollywood, parts of Valley Village.
So,
like, just fucking leave it alone. Everyone's just born somewhere.
So this not only came up again over the weekend because of the yearbook photo, but it came up because Trump, bashed her on X. And he called her one of the dumbest people in Congress. And then she replied back, also, I'm a Bronx girl, and you should know that we can eat Queens boys for breakfast, respectfully.
Yeah, she moved to Westchester when she was 5.
She was raised there.
And she raised it.
And then she carpet-bagged into the Bronx because I know people right, left, and center that were looking at that specific congressional seat and were like, with the right campaign, that's pretty winnable for us. And that's exactly what the Democrats did with her. They carpet-bagged her into the district, and now she's like made this a part of her persona. And listen, like, representing, NBA winners this week. But like, I'm from Oklahoma, but I haven't lived there in 20 years. Like, now I'm kind of a Cali girl too, but these are my Oklahoma roots. Like, there's truth to that. It's on my wiki page.
Yeah.
And I don't talk about it every 5 seconds. She has tried to make this like Bronx too a part of her thing.
I mean, look, first off, everyone, I left Kane, Pennsylvania when I was 5. I never talk about it. Ask me where I got my grit. I'm a Kane boy.
If you're Joe Biden, you would.
I know. I was 5, and I left Kane, Pennsylvania, and I came here, and then I grew up in North Hollywood. So that's right. But she left when she was 5.
Yep.
And then she grew up in a nice white suburb.
Yep.
And she's lying. But she's not lying any more than Kamala Harris was lying about the whole Oakland thing.
Yeah.
I suppose the Oakland thing was less a lie because Kamala left when she was like 12 or 13 to go to a ritzy school.
I mean, that's a pretty formative age, too.
Yeah.
Like to live somewhere until you're 12 or 13.
I'm all for accuracy and there's whatever.
But I'd still say, like, I have friends who send their son to a boarding school, but he's still a kid from LA, even though he goes to boarding school.
You always leave out this other part.
Yeah.
You're trying to make yourself into some sort of hard Scrabble group, whatever. That's what she's trying to do.
Yeah.
But here's the question. Why? You mean it's
because the victim mentality wins on the left.
I get it, and it's sad. It's like somebody going. It's like if some guy goes, oh, man, I'm the funniest stand-up you've ever seen. Who do you like? Oh, you like George Carlin or Bill Cosby or Bill Burr? Funnier than all those guys. And then you go, okay, well, do 10 minutes of comedy for me. And I go, I'd like to, but I got the trunk with all my props in it in the car. And you're like, well, what do you need the props for if you're the funniest guy ever? Like, if you're just who you are and you're good, what do you need? Why? Okay, you worked at McDonald's, or you didn't work at McDonald's, but just go get up on the debate stage and blow us away, or tell us about your policies. So I don't really care about you. I worked at a McDonald's. Who cares?
Yep.
It was 40 years ago. Nobody cares. That's my point. I wouldn't care if Kamala Harris worked at McDonald's 42 years ago. It'd be neither here nor there.
But she's trying to make herself seem
I care that she's lying about it.
Oh, absolutely, because I think that says more about the lack of character. Or they just want to be a chameleon. They want to like try to fit in every crowd ever. They want to fit in like on the billionaire's mega yacht.
Yes.
And then they also want to fit in like with the minimum wage worker that actually has to work at McDonald's to make ends meet.
By the way, the Sandy Cortez.
Yes.
That's her name, by the way. That's what you've named. That's what guess what they called me in high school? Adam Carolla. Yeah. You want to know why? That's my fucking name.
They didn't call you AC?
A couple friends call me Ace. The point is this. Her name is Sandy Cortez. So she changed. Or she's doing whatever she's doing, but she's doing something that's trying to get you to do something and fool you. Out here, we had Antonio Villaraigosa.
I remember.
Tony Villar's that guy's name.
Yep.
He is Tony Villar, guy who failed the bar 5 times. That's his name. It's not Antonio Villaraigosa. It's Tony Villar, who failed the bar 5 times. Maybe he didn't like Tony Villar because it rhymes with failed the bar. You want to go with anything that rhymed with failed
even Kim Kardashian passed the bar, and that guy couldn't.
Did she pass it?
Yeah, didn't she pass the bar? She studied. She didn't.
She studied for the bar.
She studied and she passed. That's what.
Oh, she passed. She must have taken it on recently.
Yeah.
Oh, this just happened?
I don't know if it just happened. I thought this was a while ago, but she studied for it and was talking about how she took it and passed it.
I remember her
because in California
for
it's just a pass or a fail, and you don't know what your percentage was.
Well, I do know Tony Villar, who never passed the bar, failed it. I'm pretty sure he failed it. City. I'm pretty sure he failed it 5 times. He could have failed it 4 times. The only smart thing Tony Villar, Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa, the only smart thing he ever did was realizing he's too stupid to pass the bar and finally quitting. And I'll just run Los Angeles.
Run it into the ground. He used to run away from us at pressers and stuff too.
December 21st, Kim K passed the baby bar.
What's the baby bar?
It's a juice bar. It's a juice box. I don't know. She didn't pass is what I
thought she did.
She's studying for the bar.
Oh, sorry. I thought I saw a whole thing. She was like,
can you do this?
America, including Alicia Krause, always know the third time I go, I don't think so. I don't think so. If I say 3 times, that's when it's time to pack it in.
Well, she's good enough to be a lawyer because her Instagram caption had me thinking that she passed it. Real slick with those words.
She can do that. But Antonio Villaraigosa, did he fail it 4 times or 5 times?
But remember, he'd be talking normal, and then he'd be like, Antonio Villaraigosa.
I know.
He'd just
his name is Tony Villar. Her name is Sandy Cortez. 4 times.
And by the way, just go with your name, Sandy Cortez. Why did you have to change your name?
Why did you have to say you worked at McDonald's if you didn't work at McDonald's? We're trying to create something that doesn't exist.
It is the Joe Biden, playbook, though.
Oh, my God.
Plagiarize the things, lie about the things, say that you were places where you weren't. Hillary Clinton did this, too. Remember when she was like, I was shot at, and it was so scary? And then the military guys were like, nope.
Also, to be fair, Kamala was born at a hospital in Oakland, but she spent her early years in Berkeley. That's where her parents died.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And Joe Biden was like, when I was out in South Africa freeing Nelson Mandela, 1984.
Literally.
You weren't there. You weren't there, Joe. And by the way, you're a sociopath to say you were.
Joe is also on the moon.
Joe's everywhere.
So I have some friends that I love in politics, but the older I get and the more I see things and experience things, the more I strongly think that you have to be a certain level of narcissist to run for public office, especially at the AOC Kamala level, where everything is about you all the damn time instead of the people that you're actually serving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's almost like Hollywood. I think every actor that's it's so embarrassing to get accolades. Bullshit. That's why you're doing it. You wanted the accolades. You wanted the money. You wanted the attention. Just admit it, and I respect you a little bit more.
I think there are a subset of politicians, a subset of musicians, a subset of actor performers who actually feel like I have a craft or I have something that I want to share or I have an idea or what have you.
Help people or make them feel happy or good or create memories or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I got into show business to get paid, essentially. That's all I wanted to get paid. And I also felt like I didn't want to swing a hammer. And I felt like I was funnier than people. So I was like, well, I'll just get paid to be funny.
But I appreciate that honesty. That you saw some people and you're like, I'm funnier than that guy.
Oh, yeah. And I was like, well, that guy's getting paid. Then I could get paid. And that's what happened. But then part of getting paid is being on TV or being on a stage or holding the microphone or doing whatever we're doing now. That's part of it. So I understood that. I guess the question is beside that part of it, it's like, a race car driver is being seen by millions of people driving a car, making a lot of noise, but they also love doing it. And it's kind of what they do.
Yeah.
So, and when they get in their passenger car, they kind of just go slow and, obey the speed limits and take it easy and stuff like that for the most part. I mean, they understand probably more than most people the inherent risk of being in a passenger car versus
an F1.
Yeah.
So you think Lewis Hamilton takes it easy? Not that he's on the 405. He doesn't live here.
They realize that their office is one of rollover cages and fire suits and helmets and 6-way harnesses, and they have a very you're strapped in.
Yeah.
It's safety. Now, you're going 200 miles an hour, but it's safety. Those guys do realize that the street is really probably more problematic in the danger department.
Is it still true? And maybe this is just something my mom told me when I was a kid, so I wouldn't take off my seatbelt in the back of that Volvo station wagon.
Volvo?
Oh, yeah. But
wow. In Oklahoma?
I know we were the only one. We were literally the only one.
Neighbors I don't know if they're gay or they're communists. Maybe, but something's wrong with that Volvo family.
She had a Dole Kemp sticker on there, so I think it was allowed. But no, we'd have to go to Dallas, Fort Worth to get it fixed. So it was the only.
My mom had a Volvo too.
Yeah, she did not have a Dole Kemp sticker.
No, but she was a progressive, but she would say to me, she'd go, I drive the Volvo because it's the safest car. But my family's so broke and she was so cheap, her cars she bought were 16 years old. And I'm like, a Volvo is a safe car, but yours is 15 years old, and there's a new Ford Fiesta has airbags and crumple zones and a rollover something. You're driving a Volvo from 79, which was the safest car in 79, but it's now 91. And so it's no longer safe because it's 20 years old.
Pretty sure my parents had a 91 Volvo for 1,000 years and it was my first car. But my mom used to always threaten us that most accidents happen within a mile of your home.
Well,
And so I'm saying, is that what these professional race car drivers understand? That there is maybe a greater risk, because on the track, they're also dealing with people that are as capable as them behind the wheel of a race car. But on the 101, you're dealing with 99.9% idiots.
All right, I'll say a few things. One is the most accidents occur within, 6 blocks of your own home. It's like when they go, most shark bites happen in 3 foot or under of water.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah, bitch, because that's where we are. I don't get dropped off into the middle of the sea. You know what I mean? Everyone is in 3 feet of water. Once you get out to 40 leagues of water, not so many people frolicking. Everyone's in the 3 foot to 4. Basically, you're in the 2 foot to 4 foot zone.
So you think that's the accident?
That's all the humanity. Everybody does 86% of their driving. It's not like I commute to Bakersfield to go to work every day. It's all within this zone. 80% of it's within this zone.
That makes sense.
So you apply the shark bite theorem to the driving theorem, it's the same.
Taking that and sending it to my mom.
Tell that to your fucking mom. Straighten her hash out, number one. Number two is a guy who races cars, in myself. Once you race, it's so much fun that once you get on the street, it's kind of boring, and it's like you're not into it, and it's like you don't feel like you have to get it out. It's basically.
So do you prefer to be driven?
Mixed martial arts guys who don't get into bar fights because it's like it's out of their system. No, I go nuts. I cannot have people drive me. They go too slow.
Especially the Uber drivers that talk too much.
I'm shitting on my own points, but I'm telling you, they don't flow enough. I need a flow. I don't need to go fast because who cares? I need to be efficient. Like just sort of move.
Yeah.
All right, let's do one more. What do you got?
Well, we have Charlize Theron. There's no audio or video of this, though, because this was at a private event over the weekend.
I hate her.
She was less than impressed, but apparently, by Amazon bajillionaire Jeff Bezos and Lauren Sanchez's star-studded $50 million nuptials in Venice.
Hold on. See if Charlene is like every one of her adopted kids transitioning.
Charlize?
Oh, sorry, Charlize. I was thinking of Charlene Tilton, the super hot one from Dallas or Falcon Crest.
Charlize Theron is pretty dang hot. You know, Mad Max Fury Road.
Listen, she's a tall drink of water.
You picked the one where she's missing an arm and bald.
Yeah,
she's come on. So badass in that.
I know, but not hot. She's better with both arms. According to you, you'd put her down.
No.
That's what you said.
I said I'd put a dog down.
You said, if somebody, why bother having a limb removed when we can just put a bullet in your head?
I did a whole thing. I love the selective hearing here. I did a whole thing where I was like, human being, different, greater than animal. That's what I said. And I said, sometimes I think that human being dog owners are a little selfish and they're like, oh, we're gonna amputate the leg and he's just gonna have the best quality of life. Is he though? That's all. Just take a pause.
Well,
that's all.
All right.
Anyway, but we're not talking about me. We're talking about Charlize.
She has a daughter. She pissed me off so badly.
Oh, what had happened?
She did something that, most people kind of go like, oh, who cares? A celebrity talking or whatever. But she had this statement, and must have been about 7-8 years ago. Dawson, Andrew, you can probably find it. Could have been 7 years ago. But she's from South Africa. Mm-hmm. She's adopted African kids, I believe. Mm-hmm. And she announced that there are cities in this country she would not go to because she feared for the safety of her kids.
That. Yeah, it was after the first Trump term.
Yeah.
It was during the first Trump term.
And it's like, hey, bitch, you come from a place that does have that. We don't have that here. Number two, why don't you tell us what cities you're speaking of? Like, be super specific.
Yep.
Thirdly, you're implying it's because we're racist and white supremacists. Your kids aren't in danger from Ted Nugent. They're in danger from kids that look like them. And there are plenty of cities you shouldn't go to filled with black kids that your kids will get shot at.
Just don't go to the south side of Chicago.
Right. So how about you shut up, bitch, or go back to South fucking Africa and bring your black kids with you.
So at a party,
and the transitioning one as well.
At a party over the weekend, she ripped into Bezos and Lauren Sanchez. It was for her Charlize Theron Africa outreach project. And people that attended said that she said, quote, I think we might be the only people who did not get an invite to the Bezos wedding, the actress deadpanned on stage during the event. It was at the Universal Studios backlot here in LA. And she said, but that's okay because they suck and we're cool. She went on to add, according to the Hollywood Reporter, she went on to thank her guests for being there and taking the time to be a part of this, especially when the world feels like it's burning because it is. Then she continued, here in LA, in the U.S. and across the globe, we're moving backwards fast. Immigration policy has destroyed the lives of families, not criminals. Women's rights are becoming less and less every day. Queer and trans lives are increasingly being erased.
Fucking zip it.
And gender-based violence is on the rise. This isn't just policy, it's personal. As the crowd applauded all of her remarks, she reportedly added, yeah, F them.
The quote, and I don't know what year this quote is from, but you can look it up. There are places in this country, Charlize Theron says, places in this country where if I got a job, I wouldn't take it. I wouldn't travel with my kids to some parts of America.
What parts?
They never say, by the way, they never say anything.
Except when they wanted to boycott the whole state of Georgia. Remember that?
Joe Eagle was on the glide path. I know. They always do that, like systemic racism, the racism. And I go, what? Tell me the policy. Mm-hmm. What is it? It's a racist government. Good.
Don't say gay in Florida.
Tell me the government. Florida anymore. Shut the fuck up. I know. They're so nuts. Wouldn't travel with my kids to some parts of America, and that's really problematic. I love that word. She says there are a lot of times when I look at my kids and I'm like, if this continues, I might have to leave. Okay, bitch, it's been 7 years. Get the fuck out of here. It's been 7 years.
But she's got a fundraise here because she knows that Americans are super generous.
They might have to leave, by the way.
But she never said where.
If this continues, I might have to leave because the last thing I want for my children is to feel unsafe. Well,
and go where?
So Orange County's pretty white, and there's quite a few Trump voters there. Charlize, would your black kids feel safe in Orange County?
Or how about just all of California that isn't LA or San Francisco?
Your black kids wouldn't feel safe in Oakland and in Baltimore, in black places. So, but you may flee. It's been 7 years since you said this, bitch. Shut up. She's the worst. They're all the worst.
Do you think that she's just a little butthurt that she was actually the only celebrity not invited? And I actually, so here's my theory. She's pissed that everybody went to Venice to their wedding instead of sticking around LA and coming to her event.
Yeah.
That's
no, Bezos sent a tweet out. It's like, I don't want that bald, one-armed bitch anywhere near my gondola.
Put
her down. Put her down. Yeah, like you said. Put him down. I got an uncle lost an arm in the war. Should he have been put down too?
How many times do I have to be on the show before I can be like, roll the tape like Adam does?
I heard put them all down.
I specifically
You called my uncles a veteran, an American, an animal. Well, I hope you're happy, Alicia Krause.
You said euthanize regardless of service.
Lord
That's
have mercy.
right. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
All right. I am going to be doing a couple shows. Actually, one show at Irvine at the Improv. That's coming up on the 10th of July.
Don't bring any of your black friends, because according to Charlize, it might be unsafe down there.
They're not going to be safe. They never show up anyway. Kavina Laugh Factory, couple shows there. That's coming up on the 11th and 12th. And also Zanies in Rosemont, Illinois, coming back to the suburbs of. I lurched forward. Are you really upset?
I think women are upset, but they're not ready to commit suicide, but I think they're pissed off because it happens a lot.
I don't think they're upset. I really don't.
Oh, I upset in the way you're talking, no. But I think they're like, it shouldn't happen. Fire that son of a bitch next. I think that's.
I know, but why so animated? Like, why can't you just keep walking? Who gives a fuck? This is soccer in a different part of the world.
Well, most of the outrage is over in Spain and in Europe. I don't hear a whole lot of American. Everybody's like checking it out and talking about it. But
and it was also pretty innocuous. I mean, he's fucking celebrating.
He grabbed her by the head.
Yeah, I get that you disagree with me, Phil, but I'm saying it's still nothing. It's still falls under the heading of nothing.
I got to go with how the woman feels about it. How's she feel about it? I don't think she dug it, right?
Well, she didn't dig it initially, but then she's gone and said emotions were high. Let's just drop it.
Let's just drop it. Okay, yeah. I can dig that. I'm with that.
I don't even care what she thinks. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. There's nothing happened. Nothing real happened. What are we comparing it to?
I think he jammed his tongue down her throat.
Well, that's the case. All right, keep going. Sorry.
Well, he has gone on in public and announced, or decided to address the resignation demands, and so we'll play the speech for you, and then I will translate. It's on this one screen.
Oh, here's this dude here.
Yeah. Do you really think I deserve this hunt? People demanding my resignation. Is this so serious for me to resign, having done the best management of Spanish football? Do you think I need to resign? Well, let me tell you something. I'm not going to resign. 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 Yeah. So I'm not going to resign.
Good. He looks like the kind of guy that'd say that.
Good. Yeah, he does. Well, because of all this backlash, though, his mom.
She's on a hunger strike.
Yeah. So Angeles Behar.
Yeah.
She, a former hairdresser. She has launched a hunger strike on Monday in protest of the drama around her son. She locked herself inside of a church in their hometown in Spain.
How do you do that?
And Spain to me, you know what I mean? You couldn't do that in Garden Grove.
Well, she has the veil and the
right. She told the press she will continue to strike indefinitely, day and night, until her son was vindicated.
But who can vindicate him? I mean,
maybe he just did it. Maybe he wanted his mom to just now do it.
How's he officially?
Mom, do a hunger strike. Do the veil thing.
Yeah, well, here's the thing.
Maybe she just doesn't want to use the dishwasher. That's why she's on a hunger strike.
I know. So you guys had similar moms, I guess, right? Your mom would go on a hunger strike for you too, if you're.
My mom would call the guy. My mother called a boss that fired me once. She called him up and gave him shit, and then the guy said, "Boy, your mom, she's something else, isn't she?" Jesus.
Oh, really?
My mother called this dude up and gave him shit.
And did you like that, or were you embarrassed by it?
It embarrassed me.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't really fire me. I think he laid me off for a few days, some shit, but I was kind of embarrassed, but I was also surprised, to be honest.
Well, you were 41 at the time.
I mean, yes, exactly. And
really overstepped her boundaries.
Radio job. She's talking to Bob Moore at KLSX.
Were you in high school?
No, I was. I was 19.
Bob Moore.
She calls Bob Moore and says, "How dare you do that to my boy?"
I used to go to Bob Moore's office all the time.
Really? Was it fun? Bob's a good guy.
I got along with Bob Moore.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
He'd always show the picture of his daughter playing tennis. and talked
I
about
know
his
that
daughter
baby.
playing.
I heard that baby crying on a plane going to Europe. He was carrying that baby back and forth in first class as we were going over to do a remote broadcast. And then next thing you know, she's 14 and a tennis tournament?
I guess. All right, sorry.
So she's 30 now.
The mom hunger strike.
Yeah, so this is on Monday. There hasn't been an update, so I don't know if she's eaten or not yet, but it's been 4 days.
She definitely keistered some Lunchables before she locked herself in that church. You know, she's got a sack of Lunchables in there. It's not a full. You lock yourself in there. How do we verify whether you're on a hunger strike or not?
There's a priest in there. I could ask him. Okay.
Padre, yeah, still true.
I don't think she's had a thing to eat. No, we have passed her a few of these Mickey Mouse cookies and things that I have.
How about the Eucharist?
Yeah, that's it.
Well, there's that too. I carry those around. Other than that.
All right. Sorry.
All right. Well, it seems like anybody could start a podcast these days, including one Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, that's right.
What?
Yeah. So Jimmy Kimmel, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, Seth Meyers, and John Oliver are starting a new limited podcast entitled Strike Force 5.
Wow.
That was just announced on Tuesday. So they're all joining forces. The podcast will share once private chats held between the late night hosts who began meeting weekly in May after the WGA strike. Mm-hmm. And they began to discuss the complexities behind ongoing Hollywood strikes. So proceeds generated by this podcast will go to their out-of-work staff.
That's good.
So that's why they're doing this. Yeah.
Are these guys? They're still doing their shows.
No.
Oh.
Yeah, they're all
Everything's
off production.
Just,
yeah.
Okay.
Everything
the
is
strike.
shuttered.
Right. So in the meantime, they've started a podcast as well.
Good for
And they're going to
them.
lay the bread that they make in the podcast and the writers. Yeah, cool.
Yeah. And I think they got some sponsors. I think they have Casa
would think so.
Amigos,
That's pretty heavy.
and they're going to get, because it's a feel-good kind of thing, so sponsors are going to want to get involved. And then the money, for them, they're not doing their show on a daily basis, so they got a little free time, and they don't have to put in more than an hour. I guess it sounds like probably like once a week or something. It's not going to be a daily podcast. I wouldn't imagine.
Get them in there every day.
Yeah, I'm not sure how often it's going to be released. But if you want to give them a call, give them some pointers or anything.
I don't like that they're friends. I don't like this new. I don't like the new society where people are friends. You know what? I'll tell you what pisses the shit out of me. After every NFL game, these guys are hugging it out and exchanging jerseys.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
they're in a fucking prayer circle.
I haven't
now.
watched football in so long. I haven't seen
when
that.
When I watch football, so there's no way Jack Lambert would have gone and hugged it out with Dan Pastorini after they fucking hate each other. They couldn't be near each other. A fist fight would break out. Seeing everybody hugging it out after every sporting event
all future sports documentaries are going to be so boring.
Right.
Those are my favorite parts of all the sports stories. Where the
Magic
rivalries
Johnson, Larry Bird, the Celtics and the Lakers, Detroit. Back in the day, the Pistons, they hated each other. They the Steelers and the Houston Oilers,
Steelers and Raiders. How about the Raiders and the Patriots? And what happened to Darryl Stingley? That kept on going for years. There was a
paralyzed
fist fight in the tunnel at the Coliseum over that 10 years later.
That's the point. Yeah. And it's same with the late night guys. They all hated each other. They all hated each other. I don't like the new world where they're all coming together and breaking bread.
That's the way it was when I was coming up in radio. It was knives were out. And when I got to L.A., I was still had my fists up. And, I pissed off Jimmy, and I was sorry about that because I was just ready to
I didn't know you pissed Jimmy off.
Well, he got angry. I made a comment about crank anchors, and he was very upset by that. You remember that.
How come I wasn't upset about it? But I did crank anchors.
I remember thinking, you got to calm down, Phil, because this is, you're among friends now. You don't have to be so
what'd you say about crank anchors?
I just said it was this is going to sound terrible. I said it was lifting my show. And then Jimmy says, boy, am I disappointed in you, man. I've been doing this since I was in college, you jackass. I was sort of oh, fuck. He was right, and but I came from Miami and from other markets where everybody was just kicking each other's asses, ready to kill, sending crank callers to your show. I had a program director say to me, don't you ever let anybody rip you off. If they do, say something about it on the air. Neil Rogers was our midday host in Miami. He was ripping Don and Mike. Everybody was ripping everybody.
I had this flashback the other day, which is, I think it was Mancow's show I was doing. I think
Chicago.
He asked me to be a guest on his show, but he was doing mornings, and the time difference was 2 hours or something, and I did nights. So I said, yeah, fine, but I would go to bed. I would come home at 12:30 at night. I'd go to bed about 1:30. 1:30 or 2 is when I would go to bed every night. And I was going to call into his thing at like 5:45 in the morning. So I got up 5:30 in the morning. I called in. And he put me on hold. You always call up, you're always on hold. And you're hearing the rest of, you got to finish the end of El Chicano's Tell Her She's Lovely, or you hear the end, the second half of Archie Bell and the Drells, Tighten Up, and then it'll get hot, right?
Right.
I sat there for 20 minutes, and they never got to me.
Not good.
And then, I think at a certain point at the end, they went, "Sorry, man, we just ran out of time," or something, and they hung up.
Not good.
And I was like, "Wow, you got to get your scheduling fucking figured out or whatever." And maybe 3 months later, they went, "Can you call in again?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll call in again. I love doing people's radio shows. It's like I called into your radio show back in the day." And they did it again, and he was just fucking with me. And I was like,
"Oh, he's doing it on purpose."
Yes. I was like, "Why the fuck would you do that?"
Yeah.
Like I said, I would get up and call in because radio guys all hated other radio guys.
Right. Well, that's kind of weird because there's no benefit to the audience unless they know you can turn that into material.
And there was,
how do you do that?
Opie and Anthony came in. That was that whole Opie thing where he was screaming about me.
I don't know
in
that.
this made up world of
I don't know
staring at him and
staring at him.
You got to find the Opie and Anthony crazy. Opie rant about
I just didn't have
me.
any.
You can find it, Dawson, a Loveline. It was it was nuts. Sorry. Keep going.
I didn't have any patience for what I thought was shit radio, not talking about Jimmy now, just other shows that were lazy and shitty.
Right.
But cats that had talent, that were funny, that were doing something, I don't know, problem with that, But like Adam said, knives were out.
I find Adam really non-confrontational, though, because people have said stuff about him. There are people who've done bits about you. There are people who've said stuff on their shows about you. And you don't go to them and go, "Hey, I heard that. That's bullshit."
We got a problem.
Like, you just let it go. I've never really...
Well, I don't know about it. Mm-hmm. Mostly. I don't seek out things about me. So...
People don't bring it to you, though, like listeners
on occasion, people go, "Did you hear what?" And I'll go, "I'm not interested," and they'll play it,
Right.
So for the most part, I don't seek it out. And then the other part is I don't have energy for it or something, or I have low self-esteem or something, or maybe. But we have Opie.
I got to hear this.
Let's listen to this.
This rant. It is awesome. Yeah, sorry.
Get along with Stern. I don't know why he decided not to hate me, probably because I was on at night, not on in the morning. Yeah. And now maybe people hate me because they hate him and what have you.
Well, it has nothing to do with...
God, more lies from radio guys. More lies.
Why would it have anything to do with
I made my opinion because I ran into him in L.A. and he was a complete douche to me. And the reason he was a douche, because he is friends with Howard, so he felt like, well, I know Howard hates Opie and Anthony, so I got to not acknowledge this guy. Fucking liars is stupid business. And his audience will believe whatever the fuck he says. I had no opinion on Adam Carolla until I was out in L.A. and I went by his love lines with our agent, who just happens to be the agent of Adam Carolla. He goes, "You want to stop by Love Lines?" I'm like, "Yeah, you know what? I think that Love Lines is a pretty good show. I would love to check it out live. I have nothing better to do." I go there, I sit in another room. He's doing a show through a glass fucking booth. I'm sitting on a fucking couch. He's eyeing me the whole time like, what the fuck? Drew could care less. They go to break. Drew comes out and says, "Hey, nice to meet you." Adam Carolla looks at me in the eyes and goes, "What are you doing here?" And walks out and has a smoke. That's where this comes from, you fucking asshole.
Good Lord.
I'm so sick of radio guys lying.
I don't know you that well, but I know you must have been
met you,
probably
and then
joking.
I made my opinion. Had nothing to do with Howard Stern, you douche.
Wow, that's some hurt feelings.
I fucking hate this business.
All right. Well, the good news is you're out of it now. But
was he on the air?
I guess
dropping the F-bomb
I don't know.
Stuff? Oh,
okay. Bob Eatman was my agent. He's dead.
Oh, yeah.
He was a radio agent.
Yeah.
And he was Opie and Anthony's agent, and I think he represented Kevin and Bean.
A lot of people.
He was a radio agent and represented a lot of people.
Yep.
And I'd never met Opie or Anthony, but I knew they were East Coast-based guys. And Jimmy liked Opie and Anthony. And he would tell me, oh, those guys are good. And I'd go, oh, okay, I should check them out. But I couldn't because they're on the East Coast, and it was like before all the internet stuff or whatever. Yeah. So then I went and started the show, what must have happened, and Bob Eatman and Opie must have gone into the booth. And I probably saw Bob Eatman with oh, hey, Bob, like, I'm doing my show. You see the person you recognize. And I'm probably looking at him like, what are you doing here, Bob? Because Bob didn't show up to the radio show. He did the contract, and he went to bed at 8 o'clock at night. So I probably saw Bob Eatman standing with Opie through the glass. I did the show, and then during the commercial, came out of the studio, and Bob was standing there with Opie, and he said, this is Opie of Opie and Anthony. And I said, well, what are you doing here? Because he's an East Coast guy. I didn't stare him in the eye and go, what are you doing?
Just kind of just
by the way,
off
this
the
is my agent with another client of his. What do you think I'm going to do? Be a dickhead?
Yeah.
We didn't compete. We weren't on in the same markets. I was on at night. I just asked him what he was doing here, meaning on the West Coast, because he's an East Coast guy. Now, he was crazily animated in that thing, which is insane because I didn't do anything. I said hi to Bob. I said hi to Opie, and then I went back into the booth.
He's always been a pretty decent guy to me. When we've chatted on social media, he's always been a really decent man.
I don't even know that he's a bad guy, but I'm just saying, why is he so animated over this event?
Well, he's been stewing in it for a while since before he talked about it, and then it just elevated.
And what happened that day and his reaction on that tape, I don't know how much time elapsed.
Well, this is, by the way, we have to get rid of the criminal court system, because if he was up on the stand, fucking hands flying around, he stared me in the eye and said, what are you doing here? Like, everyone would go, oh my God, this Carolla guy's guilty.
Yeah. I'm on his side right now.
His memory of those events was 1,000% off of exactly what happened. What happened was nothing. What happened was nothing. I said hi to him. I said hi to Eatman. I asked him what he was doing here, like on the East Coast, West Coast. And then I went back in the booth. That was it. That was all that happened.
It sounds like he was having a really, really bad day, man, having to do with something with his show, his career. And another thing, Carolla, let me tell you about him, But back
to the point.
Projecting,
radio show guys all hated each other. True. I mean, did you hear me? He was screaming about an event that didn't happen.
I want that with the late night hosts too.
I want the late night show fucking guys going at it. I want the NFLers going at it. I want the NBAers going at it. I want everyone. Oh, those guys are all best friends. You know who's going at it? Chicks and Targets. Chicks at Costco's are fucking throwing down, and NFL guys are hugging it out.
Oh, and the fans in the stands. See,
the fans are doing the fighting for the guys.
Yeah.
And women. Yeah. I don't want to live in this time. I want the radio, the late night guys, the NFLs. I want them all fighting, and the fans hang out and watch it.
Yeah, that's the way it worked pretty good, Ben.
I forgot you dissed Jimmy.
I did.
I also don't remember when
on your show and
either.
Apologizing too. And I'll say this for Jimmy, and I'm not just dropping. This actually happened. I was with my ex-wife at the Ojai Country Club, and somebody drops a bottle of wine on our table, and I look over, and it's Jimmy and Sarah, and they sent us, and I'm like, thank you. So my apology, I guess he heard, and they were being really cool and nice about it. So there's my celebrity moment.
Not only do I like a good rivalry, I like a good squashed beef.
Yeah,
because it shouldn't have happened. It was just me with my fists up. I was in L.A. for about the first 6 months, and I was ready to just duke it out with it. Because everybody was predicting my failure. There was writers saying, this guy's going to last 6 months, he sucks. The station, KFI, was good to me, but I was having all kinds of problems with listener mail. I was getting hate mail from other radio guys. That had never happened to me before.
I did write a few of those.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I guess Opie's thing was because I was friends with Stern. That's why.
Maybe, man.
That's why I did that. But except for I didn't know they had a beef. I don't know anyone's beefs.
This is all just built in his head.
I was just friends. I was friends with Stern because I was just friends with Stern. That's all.
I knew that Opie and Anthony didn't like Stern. I never heard Howard mention them, but I know that those cats didn't dig him. They were competitors, though, man. They were on in the same time.
It's all unnecessary. That's my point.
But it is fun to fight with those guys, when you got a really legitimate reason to do it. Like, well, I won't mention any names, but there are a few guys that I took off on that I was happy that I did because I didn't think they weren't working hard, man. One thing I cannot stand, if you're going to be on the air and you have a show, put some fucking work into this as opposed to just, talking like this.
Mm-hmm.
And,
all right.
Okay.
All right. What else we got?
Oh, sure. So this one was tweeted to us a few times. And speaking of glassware, so there's this managing director at this company in Australia who explained his strategy for hiring people after a job interview. And so what it was he would take you down for a walk. He'd give you a tour of the facility, and you would walk through the kitchen. And somehow you would always end up walking away with a drink. He'd offer you a drink. He'd make sure you got a drink. Then we'd take the drink back, have our interview. And one of the things he's always looking for at the end of the interview is if the person gets back up and puts the empty cup back in the kitchen.
Right.
If he doesn't do that, no hire.
It's a tell.
It's a tell.
It's a total tell. Nothing is in its own compartment. If you see a guy kick a dog, it's not, well, he just hates schnauzers. It's not that. He's a bad person.
Yeah,
he will hit a kid. He will be a bad neighbor. Things do not live in their own little compartment, and nobody really fucking understands that about humanity. It's a universal thing. If you see a neighbor walking down the street, and I've seen it before, Mark Garrigus' wife, I've seen her down at the end of the street, and she was walking in my neighborhood, and she just stopped and picked up some garbage randomly and walked with it a little further and then found a trash. I said, that's a conscientious person. That is a good person. That's a good
And she doesn't
neighbor.
know you're there. She doesn't know anybody's
I
there.
saw her
Right.
doing it. That's the point.
Right. But I hear it too. I'm the guy that takes the shopping cart and takes it back to the thing, and I read all kinds of people saying, you don't have to do that. It's not necessary. Look at all these jackasses that take the cart back. There's no guy hire people for that.
Here's the problem I've figured out in life. Everybody thinks they're that person. They all think they're that person, but many of them are not. But they've labeled themselves that person. They go, everyone will go like, oh yeah, no, I know, that's what I do. I'm always the guy. I'm putting the toilet seat down after I use the toilet because the missus likes it. I'm the guy's running, but they're not that person.
Well, I drove by a car that was on fire and someone trying to get out once. But other than that,
yeah, you didn't help.
I was okay. No, I saw a thing on news this morning. This flooding back in Florida because of the. There's a man holding a baby, and his son is about at least 15 feet in front of him, standing in floodwater.
Mm-hmm.
Little boy of about 5. And I'm thinking, the hell are you doing?
Well, what's he supposed to do? He's holding the baby.
Go get the kid, though, man. I mean, his kid is in the middle of floodwater, still kind of actively moving.
But
he's standing there staring at the kid like
on the ground? Like
the little boy is standing in this floodwater.
But is he in floodwater, too?
He's standing in floodwater, too. And he's got this infant, and he's looking at this 4-year-old son who's at least 15 feet in front of him, standing there, staring. For me, the water is rapidly moving. There's storm conditions happening, and there's a little boy that could easily fall. And
you got to move, is what you're saying.
Get your ass over and get that kid out of there. But how do you get him out if you got myself?
If you have the baby,
I'd let the kid drown. But
you're holding the baby, though.
It's a good point. I would let the kid fall and
wait, put the baby in the water and then grab the 5-year-old.
I would put the baby in the water and let the kid float because they say about babies. Go get that kid. If the kid that you left there is drowned.
Yeah,
pick him up, rinse him out.
Hollow, right? They can
put him in the dish rack. You don't need a dishwasher.
Yeah, you don't need a sponge and the soap.
Buoyant.
All right, what else?
Babies are buoyant.
All right, so there are a couple of lawsuits going around now that are pretty ridiculous. I'll start with one of them. So Burger King, they are facing a lawsuit because people are claiming that its Whoppers are too small. So a U.S. judge has rejected Burger King's bid to dismiss this lawsuit, claiming that it cheated hungry customers by making its Whopper sandwich appear larger than it actually is. And this is based on ads, obviously. So customers in the proposed class action accuse Burger King of portraying burgers with ingredients that, quote, overflow over the bun, making it appear that the burgers are 35% larger and contain more than double the meat than the chain actually serves. McDonald's and Wendy's are also right now defending a similar lawsuit. Taco Bell just finished a lawsuit. They're all about $5 million each.
Well, first off, a lie is called a whopper. That guy's telling a whopper, man. So it's right in the name. We're lying.
We are lying.
They also, everything looks better in the photographs. That's why they do it that way. Could you imagine? Here's what the law should be. You know what the law should be? The law should be for all fast food and every dish that's photographed and put on a menu or put on a billboard or used in a commercial and of a football sporting event or something like that. You do not get to construct your own burger because they don't. They'll go, that's not real tomato. That's wax, but we make a big one
and spray it with something. Yeah,
we'll
lacquer it up.
We'll lacquer it up.
Yeah.
We'll put some glycerin on top of the bun so it winks at you. We'll get the sesame seeds all lined up. They do the pizza commercial. It looks like the guy put the pepperoni on the photograph of the pizza was a chess grandmaster who just set every one down using
2 days to set the shot
using
up.
A micrometer.
Tweezers,
I went 3 millimeters,
right.
not 4, in between the wide circumference of each part of the pepperoni. You buy the pizza, some 17-year-old who was high just took the handful of pepperoni, just fucking threw it at the pizza, and it's all piled up in the middle,
right.
and there's one piece hanging off the edge, burnt. You know what I mean? Okay, but the pizza picture, it's beautiful.
It's a gorgeous
concentric
thing.
circles, of pepperoni. Here's the new rule: you cannot make your own pizza for the photograph, for the billboard, for the commercial, the hamburger, and anything. We will get random.
Go into the store. And
Kelly Blue Book will do this. I'm trying to think of who does this. Who's a car? So I can't think of the car testing guys.
Edmunds.
Edmunds goes. You don't get to give us your souped up Tesla, whatever, for us to test drive. We'll just buy one. We'll buy a Lexus. We'll buy a Tesla. We'll go to a dealership. We'll just buy one. We'll drive it for a year, and we'll tell you what we think.
Yeah.
So the photograph that you use on your billboard of your pizza has to just be one of your pizzas, and we'll come in and select it for you. We'll send a secret shopper in and go, give me a medium pepperoni pizza.
Secret shopper.
And whatever comes out, we will sign off on that.
Right on.
And whatever
that would help with quality control.
Quarter pounder, Big Mac, Whopper, whatever it is, I'm just going to come in and order one, and that'll be the one you can use in the photograph.
And it'll look like vomit because all real pictures of food look like vomit.
No, but Chris is right. It'll force everyone to up their game because
and make it look better.
Can you imagine if you're Burger King and you buy a billboard and you have this shit burger sitting up there that's 30 foot across? Yeah.
Well, like people take pictures of their dish, their food, and put it on Facebook. Here's what we made: cream chicken, and it looks like it just came right out of their lower colon. It's horrifying looking. What are you talking about?
I also
demand that.
I also demand that I need a picture of the person who made the burger. I can't have the fresh-faced. That Burger King chick is hot. Have you seen? Is it Burger King that has the cute brunette? Is it Burger King that's running? I think it's Burger King that's running the script. They got a hot chick, but not Baywatch hot, but hotter than you've ever seen at a Burger King. Right. And she's up there and she's making, and then they got the black guy who looks like Cleveland from
I think you're talking about Wendy's.
Wendy's. Is that Wendy's?
Okay.
The black guy looks exactly like Cleveland from Family Guy. Have you seen that guy?
No, but I know Cleveland is.
You got to show me the black guy. The chick's hot.
Commercial.
I want to see the real picture of the person that made that. The beleaguered, twice divorced, hung out, strung out on methadone, mom with the missing tooth.
Probably a guy that made it.
16-year-old with the horrible skin, you know what I mean? Wearing a Metallica shirt.
Overworked, probably a mother of 4, just arrived in the United States.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Really holding these restaurants accountable.
It must be Wendy's. Yeah. Boy, they've done a bad job at advertising. Yeah, it's Wendy's. Wendy's is hitting it hard. They got a whole crew. Now, they got the black guy, looks like Cleveland. They got the dopey white guys. And then they have the smart chick who's hot.
Pretty girl.
But she's
girl next window.
She's kind of not, she's not L.A. hot, but she's kind of, Midwest
America,
hot.
Midwest, yeah.
Yeah, Midwest hot.
Was this it here? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is Cleveland.
What the hell are these people, man? This is Wendy's. Yeah.
You can find a better picture of Cleveland. All right, yeah, play it. Many, because I think maybe the genesis of this is a million years. I looked it up. Like, Ben Shapiro was coming to talk on the campus of Cal Berkeley, and they all had to hit the streets and protest and set the fire alarms off and do all they do. And then I said, I'm sure I would be uninterested in most of all the lecture series that Cal Berkeley had to offer if I was just looking at the calendar for their student union, but I just would not attend.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't be interested, but I wouldn't want to deny the other folks who want to learn about gastro whatever in 1800s Vienna. That's their prerogative.
Sure.
And I wouldn't go in there and rip the alarm and ruin the event, because that would be super narcissistic and super very un-golden rule-y. So why don't you just let the folks go watch the stuff they're interested in, and then they'll let you watch the stuff you're interested in, and then we could have a civil society and get the fuck on with our lives. But you won't do that because you have now labeled the diminutive Jew as dangerous in Ben Shapiro, and now you're thus making yourself a hero by inserting yourself into a situation that has no danger, but you get to be the hero by pulling the smoke alarm.
Yeah, the people that go against comedians getting up on stage just because they don't necessarily tell the same jokes that you like. Heaven forbid that people who 6 sold-out shows in Minneapolis all got canceled because you didn't like one joke that a comedian told.
Right. That's what happened. What was the comedian's name?
Ben Bankus.
He did you know him?
I don't know him, and I don't know anything about him. The one thing that drives me insane about it is, you can be a civilian. You don't have to be in comedy. But if somebody's coming to your town, you don't like it, you can make a big stink. Fine. I don't think that person should be canceled. What really chapped my ass about it was Minneapolis, St. Paul comedians that were going and saying that this guy should not be allowed to perform. Because, somebody wrote the other day, hey, they came for the journalists, and then they came for the immigrants, and next they're coming for the comedians. And I said, that's not true. The comedians are coming for the comedians.
Yeah, I know.
It's ridiculous. It's sad. It's a sad state that it's in. It sucks.
Sad when comedians have to fucking do that. I totally agree.
Yeah.
All right. News.
Do some news. All right. California Governor Gavin Newsom shared that the 463-mile section of the high-speed rail, Adam Carolla, is finally ready for construction.
Oh, it's good after 17 years or 20 years.
So I'm here in the Central Valley in Wasco, right near Shafter, and we just made an announcement of our progress here on the high-speed rail system. We're now in the process of starting to lay track, 119-mile.
By the way, hold on a second. So here's what he did. I mean, let's just see if we can summarize. He's been talking about this boondoggle for well over a decade. It's turned to shit. Everyone's now looking at California because we looked at Minnesota, and I don't know what the population of Minnesota is, but whatever fraud you guys have in Minnesota, we have that much more fraud just by our population size.
Absolutely.
So,
we'll get to that in the news in just a second,
if we're 20 times bigger than Minnesota, I'm assuming we got 20 times more fraud than Minnesota. So that's going to hit hard. This guy's running a national campaign now, wants to be president, so he's got to go back and try to clean up some of these messes of his past. And this train thing is going to get shoved up his ass every time he goes out on the campaign trail, because there's not a train, and it's billions of dollars in the hole, and it's years and years in the making, and we don't have anything. So all of a sudden, the guy who doesn't give a shit about the train, because he hasn't for well over a decade, appears to give a shit about the train because he has to get ahead of this freight train that's filled with a cargo of shit that's about to collide into his campaign.
Lay the track down.
That's right. So that's what he's doing. And he's basically like the shitty alcoholic stepdad whose son just got cast as one of the cast members in Stranger Things. And then all of a sudden, he's like, hey, Mark, do you need a ride to the park? Why don't we toss the ball around? It's like, what do you care? What do you care? All of a sudden, you care now? Yes, I care because of this. So he wants to create this. Now, the problem is he doesn't have anything to show for it, so he has to stand in front of a real train that actually exists.
That's not moving.
Why?
Ironically.
Why do you have to stand in front of a freight train that was built in the 40s to tell us about your bullet train?
Did you hear the words he said right when we were cutting out there? He said, "We are beginning the process to prepare to lay track."
That's right. That's
a lot of pre.
I would say almost everybody who doesn't own a train is in that phase of train construction.
Right. I'm in that phase right now.
You are?
You are?
Is Andrew in that phase? He's in that phase.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I'm thinking about pre-production on a train.
I'm preparing to train for a marathon, but that I need to prepare for the training that I will be preparing for.
The band Train is actually thinking about preparing for a train.
Yeah. In fact,
I
bet Train has laid more tracks for trains than the actual state of California has laid. The band, yes.
Well, at least Ty. So anyway, he wants to get ahead of this because he wants to get ahead of this train that's going to hit him, basically. Sorry, go ahead.
119-mile first phase, fully funded because of the investments we'll make through the Cap and Invest program through 2045. 1,700 people every single day, union jobs.
By the way, hold on a second. The Democrats have this thing of like, if we can create tons of jobs, if they were like, look, we've got 1,700 union jobs and they're making saddles for horses that nobody needs, it's still a victory for them because you've got 1,700 guys doing a job, getting union wages, and being employed over something we don't need, which is the same reverse thinking of AOC getting the Amazon hub shut down in her district, which is, well, I just saved you guys a bunch of money because we made a bunch of tax incentives with these guys, and now we're going to keep that tax money. It's like there is no money. There is no facility. There are no jobs. You're not keeping tax money. You made tax incentives to attract them to build a hub, but then you went back on it, so they're not building the hub, and you have nothing. So you have nothing, and then you have people, 1,700 people, shovel-ready jobs, union jobs, doing a job of getting people from a part of the state to another part of the state that no one ever travels and is completely unnecessary. And I will tell everyone who's listening, as a person who lives in California and has always lived in California, I will utilize this train as much as anyone listening in Gary or Muncie, Indiana, will utilize this train. And so will everyone else in California, which is zero. It's not... You know, when you go to LAX and you look up now and you see this monorail thing that they're working on going through there, I have a thought in the back of my mind, which is, maybe one day I could use the monorail because I go to LAX, and so do a lot of other Los Angelinos. This Bakersfield to Merced, I don't know the scenario. Like Dawson travels through that neck of the woods a lot, but he does it in his car. What are you going to do? Park your car and then take a hour and 45-minute train ride and then rent a car? Like, what is even?
Well, here's the.
I go to Pebble Beach and go to Laguna Seca every single year and do car races. You just. Yeah. I drive a car though. Where's the train? Who's commuting?
The freeway, the 5 freeway from Bakersfield to just below the Bay Area, is 2 lanes. The entire way. If they actually thought that people would be driving this distance, they're going to clog up the freeways. It's 2 lanes for over 200 miles.
Yeah.
It's been that way for the past 50, 60, I don't know how many years.
There must be like a pot of cash.
First of all, there's no way to get there.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
And no one ever goes there. I was telling Rudy before this is the very first time in the history of press conferences that Shafter, California was mentioned.
Yeah.
Well, usually you can go back and try to find where the money is, and sometimes the government is like, we don't have enough money coming into Los Angeles from the middle of the state, so let's figure out a way to get these poor people from Bakersfield into Los Angeles to start spending more cash. That's the only reason I can think of why they would build a high-speed rail. Why not San Francisco to L.A.? Why was that such a tough part?
Oh, this is only the first leg, eventually.
Eventually. He's talking about 2045. That's when they're going to actually start on this high-speed train.
Whoever our new governor is, the first thing they got to do is widen the 5.
And pull the plug on this.
They won't do it as long as this train is still in someone's dreams.
Wild.
Who's got the bullet train to nowhere that's going to a place no one wants to go? Shafter? Just talking about trains. They say that Gavin Newsom's one bad mother. Just talking about Shafter.
Shut your mouth.
Just talking about Shafter. I'll get AI to do a Shafter bullet train song. Andrew, bullet train, Shafter, Newsom, Shaft, AI comedy cover.
Who is the train that's completely covered in graffiti?
Shafter.
That'll be great.
I do want to say something about the Super Bowl. I had a thought. We watched it the other day. And I don't know the name. You got to look it up, Dawson. But 5 field goals, the kicker. 5 field goals, the kicker for Seattle kicked. And man did not even get on the podium at the end. Couldn't even find him. No interviews with him.
Not at all. Not a one.
Now,
Jason Myers.
Jason Myers. All right. So Jason Myers, and you can keep looking, Dawson, but Jason Myers set a record, a Super Bowl record, 60 years. He set the record, 5. And then he also set it for points overall for the season. I think 206 or 4 points or something like that. So crazy. But he kicked 5 field goals and set a record in the Super Bowl. And the guy who got the MVP ran well. Many guys have had good running days in the Super Bowl historically. Some of them won MVP, others didn't. I don't think he scored a touchdown. When is it? Did he score? He didn't. No, they got a junk defensive one at the end.
Yeah,
he didn't score a touchdown.
Yeah, I think he had a couple of first downs that sort of kept drives going to eat up the clock.
He did a good job. Here's a question: is there ever been an instance of a running back getting MVP of the Super Bowl who didn't score a touchdown? I don't think that exists.
Yeah.
I can't think of that, number one. But number two, he did a good job, but they do co-MVPs. And the kicker, first off, was 12-0 going in at half. The kicker was responsible for literally all the points until the game was a little out of hand.
Yeah.
But he set the record. So why not co-MVP, or why not at least let the guy up on the podium up there with everyone else, the coaches and the quarterback, and everyone celebrating? Like, I would have got. And then when the quarterback got up there, he goes, I got to thank the offensive line. Defense played lights out ball, wide receivers catching and blocking, coaches doing. How about the guy who kicked you into the victory?
He was literally thanking like assistant towel boys before he thanked the kicker.
Marcus Allen
for the Raiders.
Yeah, he won the MVP without scoring a touchdown.
Wow.
Hold on, Dawson. He had the famous reverse course run that scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl.
Hold on. This is AI that's feeding this to me, so it's possible. It says yes, a running back has won the MVP
Who is
award
smarter
for the Super
than the
Bowl.
computer?
You are, absolutely, you are. Without scoring a touchdown. The most notable example is Marcus Allen, who won Super Bowl MVP while playing for the Raiders.
One of the most famous runs in Super Bowl history, besides John Riggins' run, was when Marcus Allen was doing a sweep and reversed course and went. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Iconic run. Now, did he not score on that run? He had to score on that run.
In the game against the Washington Redskins, Allen rushed for 191 yards, had 2 receptions for 4 yards, but did not score a touchdown. His impressive rushing performance helped lead his team to victory. That's all this says.
Now, was that... Well, first off, yeah, that's good. But he did the reverse course on the Redskins, I think. Or was it the Raiders playing the Eagles?
Boys,
Maybe.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is where the rubber meets the road, and you're about to get your asses handed to you, because every time he says, that doesn't feel right, it always comes back in his favor, every single time.
Well, two
receptions
and 194 yards is not bad, and Marcus Allen and the Raiders have played more than one Super Bowl, and they beat the Eagles one year, I do believe, and then maybe the Redskins. So maybe the famous reverse run was against the Eagles, although I don't think it was. Just type in famous Marcus Allen run Super Bowl, and that one will come up. We're also getting the lyrics ready for Shafter.
Nice. Speaking of songs and kickers.
Oh, wait a minute. Can't copyright. I can't violate copyright. Yeah, sorry. What? All right. Wait a minute. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, speaking of kickers, there is a famous Adam Sandler song called The Lonesome Kicker.
Mm-hmm.
And he was in attendance yesterday at the Super Bowl. At some point, wouldn't it have just been apropos of him to just grab an acoustic guitar and go sit down next to that Seattle locker room while they're all spraying champagne, and just him and Myers are just sitting out in the hallway, just crying into each other's beers.
I want to put this little hypothetical in everyone's brain. I yell at Rudy all the time. Dude. I'm smarter than a computer. You do understand I beat the computer. The computer has every bit of data on the planet, but it can't fucking smart me.
No. Look, I did not doubt you.
No. I'm telling you, man. Who is the man whose crystal brain is smarter than AI?
Damn right.
Yeah.
All right. That was against Washington, and he scored a touchdown. Why is that not
on YouTube? Marcus Allen turns nothing into a 74-yard TD in Super Bowl XVII.
Right, but why is that not super available? Because it's all just data. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, we can watch the play. Yeah, it's iconic. Give it to him on a sweep. Breaks up, stops, goes the other way. God bless Plunkett. Plunkett runs in front like I think I may block someone, and then nah, forget it. And Cliff Branch gets down there because he's got wheels. But anyway, all right, we got it. All right. I bring it up again. I do not think there's an MVP running back who did not score a touchdown.
Well, if the example AI gave was Marcus Allen, not one exists.
Right. Okay, so this guy gets MVP without scoring a touchdown while making a very great contribution to his team, but I would argue 5 field goals as a record. And by the way, a couple extra points. They're not chip shots these days. They're not gimmies. I mean, the 2 extra points of field goal, the guy's good for 17 points.
Yeah.
Himself. Okay, co-MVP, but here's your little thought experiment. What if this kicker was black? People would be fucking outraged right now. We'd be hearing, if this kicker were black and he was not up at the podium at the end with the coach and the quarterback and the running back and a couple of players.
Sure.
And let's just say, you tell me what LeBron James would say, right? What he'd be tweeting. Mm-hmm. What would LeBron James be tweeting if Christian McCaffrey won the MVP as the running back, and the kicker was black?
Sure.
What would he be saying, and what would every asshole on Sports Illustrated be saying, and what would every talking head on CNN, what would they all be saying right now if this guy were black? And by the way, I would argue if he was black, they would have given it to him, because they would have went, let's not go there.
Yeah, to be fair, if he was black, he'd probably be a skills player, is all I'm saying. Maybe a running back, probably a wideout, more than likely.
But if he was the kicker.
Yes.
And he was the black kicker, and the running back was a white running back, This wouldn't happen. It wouldn't happen. Somebody would look at it in the booth and they'd go, I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like these optics. And by the way, take him and put him up on the fucking podium, you idiot.
Yeah.
You can't have the quarterback with the red beard not thanking the black kicker who kicked. They would call him racist.
Yeah.
If LeBron James would be going fucking nuts right now if this was a black kicker and he set a record and was completely snubbed, not mentioned. And by the way, no sideline interviews with him, no quarterback shout outs, no coach, nothing, just snubbed. LeBron James would be going nuts and he'd be going, this is racism. And that's what I'm trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy to read into everything.
Yeah, if he was a black kicker, they probably would have given him MVP even if he hadn't kicked a field goal, just to make sure that they were like, yeah, he's on the field. He made it as a black kicker. You deserve a trophy, my friend.
Chef. All right. So there you go.
All right.
What else?
You got to keep moving. All right, here we go. So this has been coming up in the news again. This is a couple of years old, but it's been getting shared as of recent. Gavin Newsom vetoed a bipartisan bill to audit the $24 billion that was quote unquote lost on homelessness since 2019, meaning that Newsom blocked the investigation into the missing money. So the reason why this has been going around is because Governor Gavin Newsom now files a civil rights complaint against Dr. Oz in videos about healthcare fraud, saying that he has targeted the local Armenian American community in a series of videos about healthcare fraud.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's watch this.
You can see these are medical buildings. They've got Cyrillic writing, Russian, Armenian writing. On both sides, there's lots of action, it seems. I don't know how many patients are getting care, but in this 4-block area in Los Angeles, there are 42 hospices. So either there are a lot of people dying here, or you've got a fraudulent activity that is so good that everyone wants to get in on it.
Yeah.
I'm in bed now.
Armos will tend. I think there are Somalis. Mm-hmm. You know, you got the Somalis over there. We got the Armos over here. Mm-hmm. They'll engage in some fraudulent behavior every once in a while.
Yeah.
It's a cultural thing.
Well, sadly, it didn't start until after they came to America, obviously. They were very good, wholesome people back in their homeland.
Yep.
And then when they got here, things changed. Yeah.
So they are our Somalis, if that's what you want to know. And Garagos would say the same. And he's Armo.
Yeah.
He'll tell you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So is there more tape, by the way? Or are we good?
There was still some more. Yeah, if you wanted to watch a little bit more of this.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look. You can't tell people you'll get paid by creating some daycare thing or hospice thing or kids on the spectrum thing. It's just going. Everything is dogs at the airport. Dogs were not allowed at the airport, and if you walked in with a dog, you were asked to leave. And then we said you can take the dog to the airport and travel with it on the plane, but we're on the honor system. That dog has to be a service dog, and now we have tons of dogs at the airport because the honor system doesn't work. And by the way, interestingly enough, mostly women exploiting that dog at the airport law. I see many more women than dudes, but I see plenty of dudes. If you're going to create a system, the system will be exploited.
Sure.
Okay. Sorry.
I'm in Van Nuys in Los Angeles, and this boarded up area above my head here is a big hospice center. There are apparently quite a few hospices around here, 42 within a 4-block radius. And these guys stole $16 million. Listen carefully. The main guy went to jail for 2 years, for stealing $16 million, which is a good trade-off for a lot of folks. And if you look at it, it's pretty in the script. There wasn't anyone really in there. They weren't doing any services. They just got an address they could claim was a hospice. And then they ran the business, claiming people were at home getting services, which they really weren't. What we have learned is there's roughly $3.5 billion of fraud taking place here in Los Angeles in hospice and home care. It's run quite a bit of it by the Russian Armenian mafia. You notice the lettering and language behind me is of that dialect. And it also highlights the fact that this is an organized crime, mafia deal where you've got folks who have systemically recruited doctors to write false prescriptions, hundreds of doctors participating. They've got 100,000 patients who they've tricked or paid to give them their beneficiary numbers so they can perpetuate the fraud. And then the criminals are just running the whole organization and quickly scurrying away when law enforcement does get around to prosecuting them. Unfortunately, in California, there has not been a lot of attention on these problems. That's going to change. The U.S. attorney.
Right, you can pause it. Yeah, but now, see, the thing that's great about Trump is he has punked the Democrats into defending all of this shit.
Yeah.
So now he has Tim Walz, your mayor, your governor and your mayor, and our governor and our mayor going to bat for the fraudulent people that are ripping off the taxpayers because he's fucking duped them. And actually, they're dumb, so they just do like Walz is a dumb dude.
Sure.
And they're now having to have press conferences defending the people that are ripping off the taxpayer, which is comical. 10 minutes ago, they were defending the narco drug traffickers whose boats were being blown up, or Kilmer Garcia, they had to protect the Maryland dad. Like they're duping, Trump is duping these people into defending the worst people in our society on 90-10 issues who want these fucking people out or these shops closed up. But listen, unless you think anyone in a doctor, whatever, clinical setting won't just do. Remember we just had COVID, and remember they just told the hospitals, if you tell everyone people died of COVID, you'll get $50,000 or whatever it was, and guys that died in motorcycle accidents were getting labeled COVID so the hospital could get... Okay, that's all anyone ever does.
Yeah.
They're just going to fucking exploit it. So if you make a system that tells the fucking hospital, write down COVID and we'll give you $50,000 because you're interested in lying to the American people, hospitals who are in the business of making money will gladly write that down when the guy's got a piece of rebar sticking out of his side.
Sure. I saw something. I never believe what I see on the internet, especially Facebook, but I saw something about 2 minutes before the mics got hot, which was apparently Tim Walz had sent out they send out the mass text messages. Hey, this is Mike Lindell. I'm running for governor, whatever it is. Apparently there was one that Tim Walz had sent out. It never came to my phone, and I have a Minnesota number, but it was basically his defense fund. Like, yes. Hey, we got...
he's raising money now.
Yeah, he's raising money now. Like, well, isn't that sort of indicative of what is to come? Like, he's kind of already starting to, much like Gavin Newsom starting the train, just going, hey, man, they see what's coming up in front of them.
There's also a version of life where you run the shit out of your state. Like lean and mean, and people are happy. Yeah. I mean, we just got back from Naples, Florida. No garbage, no graffiti, no homeless, clean, lawns mowed, people taking care of business, go down to the car show, bunch of clean, nice people and clean, nice cars and clean, nice streets. There's a version of this where you actually just efficiently run your state, and then people go, good, I like that guy. Yeah. I want to live there.
Amazingly efficient and very nice, gracious police officers that don't pull you over at 1:30 in the morning when you go left on a red.
Yeah, man, we went left. We blew through a red, and a cop rolled up on us.
Hit me with the flashers behind me. It was like, hey, man. Yeah, because we had a rental car, and I got bit by my own snake, because the first thing I always do when I get a rental car is you got to turn the lights, because sometimes they just have the regular headlights. They don't put them on auto. So you got to put it on, make sure it's on auto, because that will get you every single time you get in the car at night, and then your taillights aren't on because the headlights come on. So I didn't put it on auto, but the cop saw us and just like literally hit me with the flasher and just went, hey man, turn your lights on. And we went right back. That's what I love about Naples.
But that's after you. People should know we drove through a red light.
Yeah.
For a cop to do this. We pulled in front of him through a red light, and he pulled behind us and flashed.
Was it an unmarked car? I mean, that's the one thing you have to look out for is where's the cop.
I'll tell you what happened. I'll tell you what happened. And I'll be truthful. You look for cops, and then you go through the red arrows and the red lights. And I do all the way up and down PCH all day, every day. I just drive through everything because I just look in my rearview mirror. But at night, there's headlights in the distance.
Okay.
And the cop cars there
in on a box truck too.
Cop cars there are white. They're just white with a little green on the side, and they're just like Ford Explorers or something. And it's off in the distance, and they're on the main highway, and they're kind of moving like 60 miles an hour. And you do have to roll the dice a little bit because there's always going to be headlights in the distance, and then you basically just have to go, I'm going to run this light. What are the chances those headlights I see in the distance are a cop?
CHP.
And the answer is not very good, but not impossible.
CHP is starting to do that now. They just got a bunch of SUVs.
Oh, yeah.
Mid-size SUVs that have the decal on the side is only visible at a certain angle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, you can, like I said, there's always going to be headlights because it's a main highway. And you just got to decide, do you want to do this or not?
No, it's understandable. I've seen the California Highway Patrol ones, and those are difficult to spot.
Sure.
Well, at night, headlights are headlights.
Right.
You just can't, everyone's driving the same version of something, and the headlights are just a headlight. So you can't even read them like you used to be able to kind of read headlights for cops, motorcycle cops, and stuff like that. Now, they're all in Ford Explorer, so it's like that could be anybody at any time. We rolled the dice. And the guy was moving.
He was. Yeah, he was on his way somewhere for sure.
Right.
Yep.
So he flashed us, and we turned him on.
Yep.
Based on reports from January 2026, Minnesota Governor Tim Walz has been facing scrutiny for fundraising for a personal legal defense fund. Yeah. Well, he knows there's some there. Now, he'll try to paint it. Look, here's the deal. They'll try to paint it as, well, Trump's just going after his enemies. All right, you guys just went after Trump, but he's not in jail because he didn't have a case.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, if there's no case, there's no case. Trump is allowed to go after whoever he wants to go after, but if there's no there, then there's no case.
Sure.
You're not going anywhere. If he didn't do anything and there's no paper trail and there's no anything, then I do. It's that same thing. It's like he's just walking around Tom Homan and kicking open doors and grabbing citizens and disappearing them. Yeah, okay. No, that's not what's happening. And I don't know anyone that's happened to, and neither do you. So shut the fuck up. But if you're here illegally or you're, part of the Armenian Russian mob, then yeah, maybe you should be looking over your shoulder. So Tim was up to something. Mm-hmm. Or up to nothing, which is just turning a blind eye to. Look, again, we get back to stupid or liar. Karen Bass, either you did nothing and just watched your city burn to the ground, which means you're fucking horrible mayor. And Tim Walz, maybe you did nothing while billions of dollars of fraud just walked out the front door of your state. All right, either way. Mm-hmm. Do you understand? Either way, you're fucking guilty.
Yeah.
You understand? And you have a fiduciary duty when you're at that. You are the elected whatever. Yes, it is on you. And you go, I didn't know about it. Okay, well, then you're dumb and you're really bad at your job. Yeah. Either way, you got to go. I mean, it's this scene with De Niro and Billy Bob Bumpkin, whatever, in Casino. He just went up to him and he goes, this slot machine just hit 3 big hits in like the last hour. Now, either you're in on it or you're fucking too dumb to get involved with this. But either way, you're out.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. Are you part of this or are you just sitting and watching it? But either way, you're off the floor.
Yeah. It's just an expansion of the stupid or liar argument.
Right. Look, here's what we have to do, not only in the United States, but around the world. We have to convince people, and people are like, what? To use margarine instead of butter? No, it's going to be a lot harder than that. To drink Pepsi instead of Coke? No. No, those are easy. To like sign up for the Marines instead of the Navy? No. We have to convince people that men are women and women are men, and men can become women and women can become men. Uh-huh. And that person, like if you would have said that to me, I would have went, oh, good fucking luck. Good luck.
Feminists are never going to get on board with that.
We can convince people. I think I could get people to start using this toilet paper instead of that toilet paper, or my canned soup instead of those guys' canned soup. But convincing people, not just in the United States, we're going worldwide with this shit. And God damn it, they got literally half the country to buy into this shit, and they got the other half of the country scared to say anything about it, which is insane because it's the most insane proclamation ever undertaken. If you went to every Madison Avenue outfit and talked to John Hamm and Mad Men and he said, here's your job. What, to get them to get Ford over Chevy? No. We need half this country to think a man can be a woman can be a man, and stuff assigned at birth. It's not given. It's not biological. Okay, that's one half. The other half is the sane half. They have to be scared shitless to talk, or they're going to lose their job in Hollywood. That's like
not just in Hollywood, in corporations,
everywhere.
Like teachers.
This has got to be the greatest undertaking of humanity. This is much bigger than the Hoover Dam or World War II or the Panama Canal. This is the biggest human endeavor ever to convince people. By the way, 10 years ago, you talk to anyone you know, and they go, what the fuck are you talking about? No, that's my son, that's my daughter. Now shut the fuck up and get out of my house. I don't know what you're talking about. To go from that to, well, he believes and feels like he's trapped inside, and to have the mom nodding her head.
Assigning gender.
Yeah, and the mom's like going, he's right, listen to him. Are you fucking kidding me? We got half the country to do it, and the other half to be so scared they wouldn't talk.
I'd go broader. Half of the world to do it.
Well, yes.
And then the other half of the world
I'm leaving out the Middle East.
Well,
and parts of
definitely
Africa
don't get rights there, so they'd accept men saying they're women before
I
women,
said the
sure.
world a few times, the Western world.
Yeah.
The Western world,
Yep.
we have the person that wrote Harry Potter and is responsible for Harry Potter simply explaining a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and women and men shouldn't compete in the same sports. And she's going to be taken out she's going to be erased from the history books and not welcome to the HBO party and everything else. And the cat's going to turn. That's an amazing endeavor. If you think about, like, what are we capable of, people? Because I'm going to say anything. Well, we can't get a bullet train from Fresno to Merced, but
could probably get Carolla on CNN.
Yes.
Yeah.
That could probably get me a weekend show on CNN. So
those people.
It is pretty insane what we were able to do with this project. If you think of it, if you looked at it like a product, like you go, I got a product. What's a product do?
Well, the product is like fear mongering and emotional.
No. The product,
but
the product is just you got to get everyone to say a man is a woman, a woman is a man, or can be, or what. That's the product. But it doesn't clean windows, and it doesn't freshen air, and it doesn't clean your kitty litter box. But that product is that. And we're going to sell this product, and we're going to get everyone to buy in on it. And the ones who don't buy in on it, and, it's funny because when I told this to Drew, he goes, yeah, but a lot of people, they don't really buy it. They just were scared. And I said, even better.
Yeah.
You got people who disagree with you so fucking scared that they're not going to say anything. That's
Germans during World War II.
That's the ultimate.
Turns out they're culpable as well, though. The people who remain silent.
Oh, for sure. Wait a minute. Germans, World War II?
No, I'm just saying, like, you have, like, people, Bonhoeffer that wrote about this, like, the people during World War II that were like, well, we don't really agree with Hitler.
German citizens.
And the Nazis, they're bad, but we don't want our neighbors to rat us out, so therefore we won't hide Jews and we won't speak up and say anything.
Yeah, we just had our own COVID.